Hey everyone, so I just want to take a few moments to kind of walk you through this discussion activity and sort of the basic requirements that I'm going to expect from you from each discussion activity. So I'm going to use this first discussion activity as an example, the one that's due, the first one that's due, which is called Check Your Labels, where you're going to research where your clothes are made. There's a couple things that I want to show you here, and I think they're really important if you're going to kind of go through some of the kind of major requirements of each assignment, right? So the first thing that I kind of want to point you to is this dialog box. This is where you click reply. Once you're ready to answer your questions, you just click on this, and a little dialog box will come up for you to type in your answer. This is where you embed images. I'm going to show you that in a second, like how to do that. It's a little bit involved of a process, right? And one thing that I want to point out to you too is that when you get to this, you're not going to see anything, any responses from your classmates. So if you get on like at 3 o'clock when your assignment is due at 5, and you get on there and you don't see anything there, I set it up so that you can't see your classmates' responses until you respond yourself. That's because I've had a problem in the past where students, before they respond, they kind of look through and see what everyone else said first, and then they end up kind of repeating what everyone else said. So it ended up this thing where I was reading 30 of the same answer like over and over and over again. And so to avoid that, I've set it up so that you can't see what everyone else has posted until you've responded yourself. And so then the other thing that I want to point you towards here before I show you how to upload videos is I want to show you the rubric. So again, your discussion activities are worth 50 points each. And so how you get to your rubric is this little wheel here that I just clicked right next to the edit box. You won't have an edit box there, but this little wheel here. Right, you scroll down and it'll say show rubric. And so this has all the criteria that I'm using to grade you, right? And so it has the word requirement, and anytime you see here view longer description, you can just click on that and it'll give you a little bit more information. So this one says the discussion is 300 to 500 words long, and that's worth 10 points. And really, this isn't something you want to lose points for. If it says at least 300 words, get it at 300 words. Don't lose points over something like that. Respond to 2 of your peers. Right, it says respond to 2 peers, respond directly to a specific piece of the comment, and follows the code of conduct for respectful discussion, right? So no name calling, no personal attacks. But also, I want you to really take time to respond. Really go in depth with 2 of your peers, right? 2 other of your classmates. Maybe take a specific quote from something that they said and really discuss it at length. Don't just say something like, oh, I think that's interesting, or oh, I think that's a good point, and just leave it there. Really discuss their argument and what you think about it, right? Minimal errors in spelling and grammar. And then these next few four components here, these 4 criteria, they save 5 points each, but they really go into something combined that's called content, right? And so all of these combined, so really kind of think of these last 4 criteria as 20 points, right? Did you answer all components of the question? All right, in this one, for example, you have a list of, I believe, 4 questions there. Did you address all of them in your response? Did you use at least 1 piece of evidence from the reading and online videos? So you have to have 2 sources total each week when you do these discussion activities. And this never changes. Whether it says it in the instructions or not, you are expected to cite 1 reading and 1 online video for each discussion activity. So make sure you're incorporating that. And that could mean a lot of different things. It could mean a direct quote. It could mean you paraphrase an argument that an author made, right? Like you kind of have options there. And they'll vary in length. You might cite the reading and discuss it for a really long time, and you might just quickly mention the online video or vice versa. It really is kind of up to you, right? Exhibits strong critical thinking skills. And again, you see the view the longer description. You're using evidence from the reading and online research. You think beyond the prompt. So you're asking new questions. Right now that you've given your answer to the discussion questions that I put there, what new questions arise for you? If you're maybe reflecting on something that you don't agree with, or reflecting on something you don't quite understand, basically just taking it beyond the discussion and trying to make kind of a larger point. And then finally, synthesis. And what this longer description says is the response does not just list a piece of evidence from the reading and video. It ties the evidence into a larger discussion of the content. So what that means is, I don't want you to, one, just answer the questions one by one, right? So like a lot of people in the past, what they've done is, you know, I number the questions 1 through 4. So they'll just go 1 and then provide the answer, and then 2 and then provide the answer. I want you to tie everything together. I want to see that you're making connections in paragraph form, not in a bulleted list, between the readings, between the online videos, and between this discussion activity. How do you see it all tying together? How is it all kind of coming together to make sense for you? Right, and so I kind of want to see that level of discussion. And so this is the same rubric. This is going to be the rubric that I'm going to use to grade your discussion activities every single week, and it's never going to change. So, and this will be tied to every assignment. So be sure to go through this and look at this every time you're doing your discussion activity as a guide. And so the final thing that I want to go over with you before ending this instructional video is how to upload photos. So one of the requirements for this discussion activity is that I want you to post a photo of your clothing, the clothing that you selected for this exercise. You don't actually have to be in the photo yourself. If you don't want to, that's fine, but you can just maybe lay the clothes out on the table or something and put it there. This is the embed image in the reply box, right? So this is what you're going to use to put the image into Canvas. The thing is that you have to save it as a file first before you can embed the image. You basically have to upload the photo into Canvas. So how you do that is you come here in your left-hand column, you come to Files, and you click on that. I'm just waiting for it to load here. And you'll see here I have some kind of photos here already that I've used on this Canvas page already. But it'll say up here this blue box that says Upload. You click on that. And you go and you find your pictures. Let's see. Humanities 105. Do this social justice one, and I love feminism. Why not? So there, so now it's uploaded, right? And so then what you do is you come back to that discussion board. Go back to this, click on that reply box, this little image here of the little mountaintop in the frame. You click on that, and you'll have these 3 tabs here. You're going to click on Canvas. And while that's loading, you're going to click on Course Files, and now that photo that you just uploaded should be there. And so you'll click on that. You'll select Update, and there it is. And then you can kind of, this was really big, so you just click on it so these squares come up. Let's enlarge that. Resize it to make it smaller and to kind of make it more manageable if you want. And there, and you've just uploaded your photo onto Canvas. So it is a little involved. There's a couple extra steps there, but once you kind of have that down, it should be pretty easy. So thank you for making it to the end of this video, and if you have any questions about anything that I covered here, do not hesitate to ask.